Hello everybody, Mobius1 here, bringing you my second Star Wars Unlimited gameplay video using the website Karabast. In the last one of these, I showed off a red Rey deck that I've been playing a lot with lately, but this time I decided to give in to my anger and play a few games with this Double-Green Palpatine deck I like to call PalpaGreen.
Go for Papa-Palpatine!
A Double-Green Palpatine is a deck that's been around in the meta since Spark of Rebellion and is a deck that focuses primarily on ramping up your resource pool early with cards like Resupply, Super Laser Technician, and Command so that you can not only get your late game heavy hitters out like Darth Vader, Relentless, and Devastator, but also so that you can deploy Palpatine himself, who on deploy takes control of a damaged enemy unit. This results in some seriously insane swing plays where you typically go from being kind of on the back foot to absolutely destroying your opponent. It can be a bit of a tricky deck to play sometimes, and I would say requires a bit of knowledge of what you're up against to really be successful, but when it is successful, it's so much fun. For turn 1 plays, we have 3 copies of Admiral Piet, 3 copies of Colonel Yularen, and 2 copies of Scanning Officer. All 3 of these units have the official trait, which allows you to, on turn 2, play Emperor's Royal Guard, which is going to be a 3/5 because we have Palpatine, but also, if you have an official in play, it gains Sentinel. Against an aggro deck, a 3/5 Sentinel on turn 2 is a super great play and allows you to start building up your resource pool and within relative safety. We also run 2 copies of 2 1-cost units, the TIE Fighter and Salacious Crumb. The TIE Fighter can, in some cases, help you contest the space arena, but most of the time it's just going to be a sacrificial unit for Palpatine's leader ability. Salacious Crumb, on the other hand, has a lot more utility. Not only do you heal your base by 1 HP when you play him, or 2 if Colonel Yularen is in play, but also his bounce back to hand and deal 1 damage to an enemy unit is a great way to damage an enemy unit so that when you deploy your leader, you have something to take control of. Now come turn 2, if you don't have an Emperor's Royal Guard in hand, we do run 3 copies of Phase 3 Dark Trooper and 3 copies of Black Sun Starfighter, which are both cheap Sentinel units that can help slow your opponent in both the ground and space arenas respectively. But in other matchups, the more ideal turn 2 play is either going to be Resupply or Super Laser Technician so that you can start outpacing your opponent in resource generation. After that, it really depends on how the game develops, as you really need to be able to adapt to whatever your opponent has. Knowing when to ramp or when to play units can be tough, so I'll try to talk through my decision-making once we start playing some games. 2 other Shadows of the Galaxy cards that really make a nice addition to this deck are Enterprising Lackeys and Palpatine's Return. Enterprising Lackeys is a 4-cost 5/5, which isn't bad and can be smuggled into play for 6 resources. And Palpatine's Return is a 6-cost event that allows you to play a unit from your discard pile, discounting it by 6 or 8 if it has the Force trait. The obvious play then with this deck is to play your Darth Vaders rather aggressively, then use Palpatine's Return to bring them back from the dead, so to speak, for only 6 instead of their original 7, which, believe me, is a good play. But it's not the only use of Palpatine's Return. When used on non-Force units, this 6-cost event still reduces their cost by 6, which simply means you're paying that unit's regular cost anyway. In other words, you can look at Palpatine's Return as not only an extra Darth Vader, but an extra Vader, an extra Reinforcement Walker, an extra Relentless, or an extra Devastator. Having 2 Palpatine Returns in your deck can be viewed as running 4 Devastators. But it gets even better when you combo it with Enterprising Lackeys. When Enterprising Lackeys are defeated, you can defeat a friendly resource, sending it to the discard pile and replacing it with Enterprising Lackeys. Not only does this mean that you could play Enterprising Lackeys again for their smuggle cost, but it also means that if you had resourced an expensive card earlier in the game, such as Devastator, Enterprising Lackeys allows you to send that card to your discard pile to then be played with Palpatine Returns. This combo might sound convoluted, but it's actually really easy to pull off and can really take your opponent by surprise. They thought they were removing your measly 5/5 lackeys, but now they're facing a 10/10 Star Destroyer. It's awesome. Taking a quick look at the sideboard, 1 restock and 1 extra Palpatine's Return are there against matchups you might think might drag on into the very late stages of the game. 2 copies of Fel the Dragon are there specifically to counter red decks that you think might be running Crate Dragons. Just keep in mind that you'll need to pay 6 resources for them instead of 4 because this deck isn't running the blue aspect. And even then, the really best way to deal with a Crate Dragon with this deck is to simply steal it with Palpatine's When Deployed ability. 2 Gamorrean Retainers are included in case you're up against an aggro deck and you need a few more cheap Sentinel units. And the 3 Consortium Star Vipers can fill a few roles. They're there both to help you fight for the space arena if necessary, but can also offer a bit of extra restore if you're able to attack with them while you have initiative. Both the main deck and the sideboard are running 1 copy of Traitorous. I find this can be super useful against certain decks that run powerful 3-drops or a lot of upgrades. Specifically the popular yellow Boba deck that's been out there lately. If your opponent plays the 3-cost 3/5 Boba Fett Disintegrator and then buffs it up with Boba Fett's armor, stealing it with Traitorous is one of the most satisfying plays you'll probably ever make, and your opponent will probably hate you. As I said in the last video, this deck is still obviously a work in progress, so if you have any card swap suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to read them. But with all that out of the way, let's head over to Karabast and play some games. Alright, so fittingly, it looks like our first opponent is a red Ray. I think we're going to slot in the Palpatine's Return and both Fel the Dragons just in case. Let's see. I'm going to just take out 1 resupply just so we don't have too much of a bloated deck. And we'll see how this goes. Alright, for opening hand, we have Yularen and Scanning Officer. We also have a couple, a 3-drop and a 1-drop. I think we'll just go with this and see how it plays out. We have a Palpatine's Return, which we can resource. And do we want to keep the command? We'll resource that. I'm back and forth over whether we should keep the command or the TIE Fighter. Oh man, that's tough. Let's give up the TIE Fighter just because we have a turn 2 play already. Yeah, yep, he's going to play into space. Okay. Well, in that case, let's get Yularen online. So if he starts, if we start taking some damage, we'll at least be able to heal. He took initiative, we'll pass. Okay, good, we drew Super Laser Tech. So we have a choice. We can either play Super Laser Tech and start ramping, or we can play Black Sun Starfighter and stop his space push. To resource, I think I'm going to give up Piet. So depending on what their next move is, okay, so playing Yoda, Let's go ahead and get the Super Laser Tech in play. And I think I don't want the Yoda Restore to linger around, so I'm going to go ahead and attack Yoda with Yularen for 2. That kind of forces their hand at the beginning of the next turn, so they took initiative. We're going to pass. We got a second Scanning Officer, so we'll go ahead and make that our resource. And now that Yoda is within 2 damage of dying, and we have a really nice 2 damage unit that we want to die, it kind of forces them to either attack with Yoda first, or if they can, buff him. Yep, okay, so there's the Jedi Lightsaber. Now, we're going to let that Yoda linger for as long as we can. Let's get some value out of Yularen and attack the base, which seems silly, but I'm thinking that they might attack Yularen with Yoda. Whoever they attack, the base is going to heal back to full health. So it's kind of a delaying action, what we just did. I don't really care about the 2 damage. But what I would really like is to pull Traitorous. Okay, so they are going for base damage. So we need to slow down their push here. We could use Command to take out the Arc 170. It's kind of a wasted play at this point, like, because we could use Command to buff Yularen and then deal 4 damage to the Arc 170. But I think a better play is to use the Black Sun Starfighter to just block it. He could use Rey's leader ability to buff it up to a 3/4, which is kind of what I'm expecting. Yep. Yep. Okay. Well, it's at least going to stop an attack. And actually, what we can do, let's hit the base for 2 with the super laser tech. And because we have 1 resource, we're going to go ahead and use Palpatine's ability. We're going to sacrifice the super laser tech, which brings us up to 5 resources, and the 1 damage we can use to take out the arc. And we also drew a replacement Black Sun Starfighter, which is pretty nice. All right, he used Tarkin Town to finish off Yularen, which is going to allow us to claim initiative. And we didn't get our Traitorous, but we're already at 5 resources, so this 5/7 Yoda is a really nice target for us right now to steal with Palpatine, if we can get to that point. We got a Vader and an Overwhelming Barrage. I think Command might just be too slow. I really want to use it to ramp. This is tough. We're going to be on 6. We could do our 3 and 3. All right, no, I'm giving up Scanning Officer. We'll keep Command. If we play Command, we don't really have another card to play right now. So what I'm going to do is play the Dark Trooper to slow down Yoda, or bait out a removal card like Takedown. Yep. Not Takedown, but Open Fire. There we go. We'll use our last 3 resources just to play a Space Sentinel. With 2 resources remaining, we could either see like an R2-D2 or a Sabine. We also need to keep in mind that we're going up against Red Ray, which means that they're probably running Pillage, which would be really devastating if we end up having to give up our last 2 cards. And speaking of having to give up cards, there's Force Throw. We're going to give up Overwhelming Barrage here, because here's what we can do next turn. We're going to be going to 7 resources, and then we could play Command to take us to 8. Yeah, all right, and good. We got an Emperor's Royal Guard. Since we're going to use Palpatine's when deployed to steal a Yoda, I want to keep Fell the Dragon to deal with a potential crate. So as much as I like Emperor's Royal Guard, I'm giving them up for the resource here. Then we're going to play Command, and we're going to resource and return a unit. The unit we will return... this is probably Yularen is the right play here. Yeah, Yularen is the right play because next turn we'll be able to play him and Vader. So let's go ahead and do that. It's also a cheap card in case they play another Force Throw. We have a cheap card to get rid of. Oh, heck, we can actually afford to play Yularen now. But we can now deploy Palpatine and steal Yoda. Green Squadron A-Wing. With 4 resources left. Ooh. This is tricky. There's a strong chance they're holding on to a Pillage for 4 resources. So I'm going to attack with Palpatine, and I could even sacrifice the Yoda we just got to draw an extra card, so if we do have to discard, we have more options, but I really like the 5/5 Restore 2, so I'm just going to pass. I'm fully expecting to get pillaged here, and if that's the case... oh, wait, what just happened? Oh, they buffed... Okay, so no pillage. They buffed the A-Wing. So we will play Yularen. Right. So they're going to deploy Rey. We can claim initiative. They might take out Yularen, and they might... Oh, all right. Well, they buffed Rey. Unfortunately, Fell the Dragon can't be used on a leader. Oh, but or they used Rey to take out Yoda. Okay. Well, we can resource our extra Yularen here. I think ambushing into Rey with Vader is probably a good play. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll get the heal off of Yularen. And let's see what we can pull with Vader. Ooh. Well, we can get both of these. So we'll get Salacious and this. I hope this this works on Karabast, to be honest. Sure, that's a fine order because we can't buff Vader, so it doesn't really matter. So we heal. Yes, I want to ambush Rey. And we can buff, what should we buff? Shall we buff Yularen? Might as well buff Yularen. Always thinking about, against Red Ray, if we have to discard, what are we going to discard? And in this case, I think the most important card for us is the Reinforcement Walker, because they're only on 6 resources, so that we've got a couple turns before a potential crate threat. So what I'm going to do now, since Ray is only 1 HP, I'm going to attack with Palpatine. We're going to sacrifice the Outland TIE Vanguard, because I'm not really worried about this A-Wing. I mean, it's hitting for 5, which is a lot, but we've got some Restore with the Salacious and Yularen, and we really need to get rid of Ray. I was considering taking initiative here because I really don't want to get too low on base HP before I can get my Reinforcement Walker out, but because I'm looking at the opponent still has 6 resources, there's a solid chance they're going to play a card, so we can go ahead and squeeze 3 damage out of Yularen without really worrying too much. On 6, I'm thinking maybe, well, I was going to say like a Poe or something, but there's the Pillage. We can ditch a Reinforcement Walker. We've got enough ground units that I don't really think we need a Sentinel, so we can also get rid of that. Now we can take initiative. Alright, so they use Daring Raid to ping Vader off the board. Oh, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we got Devastator. That's a great counter for the anything in space, really. We'll go ahead and get rid of Relentless. Yeah, I hesitate to do that because Relentless is really good at stopping pillage and stuff like that, but we've already been pillaged once. We've been force thrown once. They've only got 3 cards in hand. Let's take a chance here and just shut down the space arena with Devastator. We did get 1 heal out of Yularen off of that too. All right, R2-D2. Let's kill that with Palpatine before they have a chance to buff it. We will not sacrifice a unit. And our goal now, really, is a combination of control the board and prevent them from getting to 9 resources for the Crate Dragon. I think we've got time. I'm just going to control the board, prevent them from playing any units and building up any sort of counterattack. We'll go ahead and attack with Salacious this turn. Pass. And I'm watching to see if they resource. I don't think... Yeah, see, they're not resourcing, so I don't think they're even running Crate Dragons. I think they might be running an aggro deck. So in that case, I'm comfortable resourcing Fill the Dragon here. And we did pull a Palpatine's Return, so if they have some sort of removal, like Vigilance or their own Fill the Dragon or Rival's Fall or something, and they get rid of Devastator... We have another Devastator right here. Oh, they disconnected. All right. Well, there you go. PalpaGreen versus Red Ray. It was a little dicey there. As you can see, you do end up kind of losing against a lot of matchups early on. But once you get to the point where you can deploy Palpatine and steal something from your opponent and then get your Devastators or your Vaders or excuse me, your Reinforcement Walkers out... oh. They're back. Okay, I was not expecting them to come back during that little talk. But we will attack with the Devastator there. He does have Overwhelm, so 6 damage did go through to base. 4 health Yoda. This is actually the point where we could say, all right, enough dealing with the units and just push for base damage, but instead we have a Vader to deal with Yoda, so we'll do that. And we'll just bring in a green unit for extra healing, do the ambush. They've got 0 resources remaining, so we can attack, 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 not sacrifice anything, pass. And this game is all but over. GG, Elko. All right. There we go. Now we can wrap things up. PalpaGreen against Red Ray. It can be tough. Pillage, any sort of discard mechanics can definitely hurt your development. But yeah, definitely fun. All right, and our next opponent is a green Vader deck.
Vader, how's my favorite Sith?
I'm just going to slot in the extra Palpatine's Return. And we'll see how this one goes. For our opening hand, we've got Scanning Officer, followed by potential turn 2 resupply, and Enterprising Lackeys. I think I'm good. Okay, we'll resource Devastator, and I think we'll resource one of the Palpatine's return, because I know we've got 3 in the deck now. And we can get the Devastator back off of Enterprising Lackeys when defeated. Alright, we'll play the Scanning Officer, and what did they resource? Okay, Reinforcement Walker and Emperor Palpatine. Take initiative. Alright, he ended up pinging the Scanning Officer and our base. I don't want this Stormtrooper to get out of control, so I'm actually thinking about trading in the Scanning Officer. We'll go ahead and resource the Walker. Yeah, see, if we had a 2-cost card, I would actually consider using Palpatine's ability to sacrifice the Scanning Officer and take out the Death Star Stormtrooper. But we could try to do that and hope that we get a 2-cost card, but because we don't have one and that's a gamble I'm not willing to take, I'm just going to trade the Scanning Officer into the Stormtrooper. And now we can safely play resupply, or if he plays something in space, we could counter it. Okay, so scanning or super laser tech will resupply. He can't ping his own guy just yet. They took initiative. We'll pass. Oh my god, look at all the overwhelming Paracious. Yeah, we'll resource one of these. All right, we'll play. Oh, we play a zone resupply. All right, we'll play the Lackeys. Trades in with the super laser tech. We'll take initiative back. He's got 2 resources for an incinerator trooper. Okay. Let's give up the TIE Vanguard here. And I think we're going to play command. Yeah, this is a good play. We're going to play command. We will resource command and deal damage. And we'll have the Lackeys deal their damage to the trooper. And now we're up to 7 resources, which means next turn we'll be able to play Palpatine. He's actually able to play Vader right now, which is kind of scary. But we wouldn't have been able to use the Lackeys, or command rather, to damage Vader. Ooh, darn. Well. I know he's still going to flip Vader. I think, you know what? Oh, Vader's got 8 HP, not 7. Yeah. Let's claim initiative here. So here's what I'm thinking. If he doesn't kill the Lackeys with Vader, which I don't imagine he will. Oh, you know what? He could use Vader's ability. He could still kill the Lackeys. Oh, he didn't use Vader's ability. That was a misplay. If he would have pinged with Vader's ability first, he would have been able to take the Lackeys out. Let's resource resupply. But now... excuse me. Now we can use Overwhelming Barrage on the Lackeys. Take out his Dark Trooper. So we want to do 4 there. We're going to have 3 left. Should we take out the Vanguard too and just deal 2 to Vader? I think that's fine. We'll do 2 to Vader, 1 to the Vanguard, 4 to the Dark Troopers. And as long as he doesn't have a Sentinel or removal, the Lackeys have enough damage left to take out Vader. Yep. Let's get him off the board. And we can send, let's send Devastator to discard. Incinerator Trooper. Okay. I'll play the Scanning Officer. And pass. We drew our second Devastator. First one's in the discard pile. We should really resource. Let's resource the Black Sun Starfighter. Shoot. All right, well that's oh, actually no. What am I smoking? That's not a problem. We'll send a scanning officer in and flip Palpatine and thank you for the crate dragon.
Oh, jeez, he's crying.
Then we'll just take out the incinerator trooper. We can even play Royal Guard and we'll pass. And that was a fun game. I resource the Super Laser Tech so that we have enough resources to play Devastator. And, yeah, the Outland tie. We'll deal 2 damage to the base. 10 damage to the base. We took initiative, so that's 3 to the base. I don't have enough to kill him. We'll play the Devastator. Take that out. 4 to the base. Pass. Oh, and we got Palpatine's return, so if he does... oh, he's saying GG. Alright, GG. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. Crate Dragons, not really that scary against the Palpatine. Honestly, I think that was a slightly suboptimal play. If I hadn't rushed there, what I probably should have done was used the scanning officer to take out the incinerator trooper. That would have dealt 2 damage back to the scanning officer, leaving it as a 2-1. Then I could have paid 1 resource to use Palpatine's ability to sacrifice the scanning officer and ping the crate dragon, then deploy Palpatine. I would have got an extra card out of that. And I don't think that 1 extra resource was would have been an issue. So it was a little suboptimal, but we still ended up winning. So let's see how we do in the next one. Okay, and our next opponent, Blue Boba. I've never seen a Blue Boba. All right, we're gonna throw in the Traitorous, the Star Vipers. I'm gonna take out a resupply, and where are my super laser techs? 1 super laser tech, and let's just go in with a 52 card deck and see how this goes. Okay, scanning officer for turn 1. That's probably not too bad because as a Boba, he could be running smuggle cards. Followed up by turn 3 resupply or Emperor's Royal Guard. This is a pretty decent hand. No, we won't mulligan. So we'll definitely give up the Walker as one of our resources. And then the question is, do we want to give up Palpatine's Return or Overwhelming Barrage? I think we'll keep the Barrage. However, I'm just keeping in mind that we only have 1 Palpatine's Return left in the deck now because we did not slot in the 3rd one. Interesting. He's passing on turn 1, so let's play Scanning Officer. Ooh, 2 no good to me deads? Is that what I'm seeing here? Anyway, okay. Alright, so we drew a Star Viper and a command. Let's give up this... Do we want to give up the Star Viper? Yeah, let's give up the Star Viper. We're going to go heavy in the ramp here and see if it works out. Ah, space unit. All right, that's fine. Let's resupply. Probably should have attacked first, actually. It's not going to make a difference. All right, pass. Okay, good. We drew a replacement Star Viper. I am just afraid of Lurking Tie. We'll give up the lackeys. Now, what I'm going to do, let's attack with Scanning Officer. And I'm thinking of sacrificing Scanning Officer to take out the shield on that defender. The only thing that I'm worried about is he's going to be deploying Boba next turn. So we need a way... I don't like any of these plays. So, like, we could play Emperor's Royal Guard. Oh, these are not good. Not very efficient turns here. Let's play command. We'll resource it and give experience tokens to the scanning officer. Yeah, he keeps just putting bounty targets on scanning officer. So I have a feeling she's either going to get captured or spare the target, maybe, even though that's a heroism event. We actually want to keep the space units here, so I'm going to give up Piet. All right, let's get the... Man, if we play the Vanguard, this is a gamble, but I really want this to pay off. I'm going to play the Vanguard and buff the scanning officer. If he flips Boba... Oh, no! Okay, well, the gamble didn't pay off.
Oh!
Oh, that's so painful. Fell the dragon. Again, blew Boba. Not used to that. Well played. Put way too much investment into that scanning officer. My logic was if he deployed Boba, Boba comes out with 7 HP. We had the scanning officer up to 5. Overwhelming Barrage would have taken out Boba. It would have been a really good good play. All right, well, I guess we're going space. Try to stop his space push because Emperor's Royal Guard wouldn't even have Sentinel in this case. Yep, that's fine. Claim the initiative. Well, we got Traitorous. That's interesting. I'm going to give up Overwhelming Barrage because we need units to play. We'll take out his 7th Fleet Defender. And if he plays Lurking TIE Phantom, we can Traitorous it. Either that or Boba Fett Disintegrator. Alright, well he attacked with Boba already, so let's get Piet out. That'll give the Royal Guard Sentinel because he's an official. He passed. Spooky. Alright, fine. There's the Royal Guard. We could sacrifice Piet to ping something and steal it if we want. Top target. Let's just claim initiative and see what happens. Oh, interesting. He also passed. Okay. Alright, we can give up the Black Sun Starfighter, because if we ambush with Darth Vader, we might actually pull another one. Let's do that. Let's ambush with Vader. We could pull one. We could pull both of these. Ooh. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull the Vanguard and Salacious. We'll use the Vanguard to buff up Piet. And now if he wants to attack with Boba, he'll have to it'll be into the Royal Guard. Or another Fell the Dragon. Okay. That's fine, because now we'll just use we'll use Piet to take out Boba. That's somewhat efficient, right? He passed, we'll attack. Passed again, we'll claim initiative. Not gonna resource here. So Yularen and Salacious are a good heal-up combo. But I want to get some value out of the units in play already, so we're going to attack with Piet first, just in case he has some way to finish him off. Which he might try to do because he's got that bounty on him. 7 damage to the Royal Guard. I don't want him drawing 3 cards, so fine. I'll let him kill off the Royal Guard. Deal 2 damage with the TIE. And remember, we can still deploy Palpatine at any time. Alright, fine. Let's play Yularen. He might also have an ambush, like Chain Code Collector or Enterprising Lackey, or not Enterprising Lackeys, Syndicate Lackeys. Passed again. What could he possibly have in hand? Let's play the Dark Trooper. Again, we're keeping Salacious ready so that we could use his return to hand ability to ping a unit and then steal it with Palpatine. Now he passed. We're going to go ahead and bounce him anyway. We don't have to deal damage to something. And now we can replay him and get 2 extra health. Passed again. We'll get the 2 health from playing Salacious. If we needed to ping something now, we still have the ability to sacrifice like the TIE Vanguard to deal damage to something. Alright, so we'll take initiative. I'm not sure what this guy's game plan is here. Like, maybe his hand is just full of removal, but he doesn't want to use it? Or they're really big cards, because he did just get up to 9 resources, which is kind of scary. But we've got a lot of options. Let's hit with our Sentinel first, just in case he has an ambush. Okay. Well, 7th Fleet Defender. Salacious can only deal 1 damage to a ground unit. Let's attack with Piet next. Maybe he'll build up a board and we can use Overwhelming Barrage. Okay. That's 2. Attack with Yularen. Took initiative. Okay. Well, the problem here is we can only ping 1 of these, and Overwhelming Barrage is not going to do us a whole lot of favors. We could steal 1. That's probably a good play. Let's go ahead and steal 1. We will then attack with Salacious. Then we'll use Palpatine's ability. We'll trade off Salacious to ping the shield off of the Defender. We drew a Scanning Officer, but we'll play Emperor's Royal Guard. And then we'll use the TIE Vanguard to take out his other Defender and pass. A clean board is a happy board. Okay, we'll just resource the Super Laser Tech. Black Sun Starfighter. I think, what do we have on board? We've got 2, 4, 10, 13. With Overwhelming Barrage, we could probably get to lethal, so let's attack with the Sentinel. Fett's Fire Spray. Okay. So 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's do this. So we're Overwhelming Barrage. We'll use the guards. We want to deal 2 to the Black Sun, and then the remaining to Fett's Fire Spray. So 3 to the Fire Spray, 2 to the Black Sun. And that should be enough damage to win the game. Oh, he's trying to use Fett's Fire Spray exhaust ability, but you need 2 resources to use it. Alright, he did attack the base. We'll just send everything to base, and that is just enough to win the game. Yep, GG. Alright, Blue Boba. Interesting deck. A Boba Fett deck with removal. Not one I'm used to playing against, but we almost... It almost went really poorly for us, investing all those resources into that Scanning Officer, only to have it be removed by Fel the Dragon. He must have had really bad draws. I'm not sure why he was passing over and over and over again, so much so that I was even able to take initiative a couple of those turns. So that was kind of an unusual game, but still a fun one anyway. So that's PalpaGreen. The deck link for that will be in the video description if you guys want to try it out. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you're looking for more people to play Star Wars Unlimited with, I also have a Discord. Link to that is also in the video description. And if you have any other decks that you want me to feature in a future Karabast video like this, let me know. I'm always looking for new things to try out, new leaders to play. But that's it for this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Mobius1 here, and I'll see you in the next one.
Okay, bye. Yeah, I love you too.